All right, folks, we are live. And I will wait a few minutes for people to show up, and then I'll explain what it is we're doing. Assuming I can find what I'm looking for. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Mac Mini. Oh, well, that's cool. Okay, so Mac, excuse me, Mac Sales, OWC, last I checked, only had a PDF on how to do the RAM install on the Mac Mini. That's what I was going to do, but it appears they now actually have a video. So that's cool. Yeah, we'll probably just use their video. Although I kind of like, where's the PDF? Kind of like the PDF, actually. I don't know. Maybe it'd be easier to go by the video, but... Huh, how funny. The PDF really doesn't seem to be here anymore. Oh well, I guess we're using the video. So I'll pull up the laptop, that'll be easier to see that. Let's see here, let me take a look at the chat. Let's get that open. Pardon me. And we'll see who's here and chat to you all as we go. Hey, look at that, there's a bunch of people in here already. Excellent. All right, let me pop out the chat so I can actually see it. And get... Hello. Ugh. I just replaced the battery in this thing, didn't I? Connect. Connect, 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 connect. There it is. And, oops, I guess I have to close this one. Not your normal live show, my friends. Definitely not. This is more of a, kind of like when I built out the studio. Let's see what's happening. Okay, Jake, greetings. Tech Checker, hello, hello. Heliodoro Castro, belísimos de lentas, amigos, saludos. Excellent. Overview Production says hello from the Netherlands. And Bitsmag TV from Brazil. Wow, you guys are all tuning in from all over the place. Okay, so this is, this is going to be an adventure. So I'm going to install the RAM in my Mac Mini. This is not an easy task. No, this is one of those, it takes special tools and a lot of patience to do. And so I figured, someone had asked me if I would actually show this live or at least do a video about it. There are videos on how to do this. I'm actually going to be using the video from the Mac Sales webpage, which is not where I bought the RAM, but they have a video on how to do it. So I'm going to use their video. And I'm going to basically watch their step-by-step and then do mine. And I'll share with you as I watch and as I do it. And yeah, that's the plan. So first step, though, is to clean up my workspace. So this tabletop is aluminum, I think, or steel. Right, pretty sure it's aluminum. Either way, it doesn't sound like a good idea for a RAM install, so I'm going to clear it off, and I've got a big white slab of plastic that I'm going to put on here, and that is going to be my workspace. So that is step number one. This is going to be one of those weird live shows that goes on, and you can kind of tune in and tune out, and I will edit this together later. I guess I have to actually hit record if I'm going to do that. I will edit this together later. At least that's the plan. Oh, is that not getting a signal? Let's just reboot this real quick. Oh no, it was off entirely. Not have to reboot it, just have to turn it on. There we go, now we're recording that. So let me do that intro again. Greetings everybody, this is going to be a RAM install for the 2018 Mac Mini, which is a real PITA installation from what I hear. Now I've got the tools, finally. I've had this thing for like a month and a half. Finally got the tools. They came while I was away in India, and I am now going to install it. I'm going to be following along with OWC, Other World Computing's, aka Mac Sales's video guide on how to do it. And I'm just going to basically play little bits of the video and then try and do what I'm supposed to do. That's going to be the attempt here. I'm currently cleaning off my workspace here so that I can put a different tabletop on here. This is aluminum or steel or something, but it's metal. Sounds like a bad idea for working with RAM, so I'm just trying to clear everything off of here momentarily so that I can get my better work surface up here. And then we'll take it from there. So I see there's a bunch of you watching live. That is awesome. For those who are watching live, feel free to chime in with questions, suggestions, and oh no, don't touch that, don't do that, you just killed your computer. Those would be fun. And For those not watching live, well, you wouldn't even see this, but I'm going to be editing this thing down. Okay, that's my workspace cleared. I shot the thumbnail earlier. Can you see it? Yeah, kind of, you can see it. You haven't seen the thumbnail yet, that's for later, but let me get my work surface back up here. Remember this tripod? I forget what it was called. Zome. This thing's worked out really well for product shots because it does that. It's kind of cool. Anyway. All right. And one of these days I will do a video on these aperture lights as well because they definitely are awesome and deserve a video. All righty. Set these somewhere where I'm not going to break them. I guess that's good. That's the RAM itself. We'll do close-ups of all this in a moment here. And the tools. And the Mac Mini itself. Somewhere along the way, I picked up these big sheets of thick white plastic great for product photography. Anything where you want a pure white background, I can even backlight it. It's a little big for this desk here. Ooh, we'll make sure that that's in focus because I'm now slightly farther back from the desk, so we'll do a quick focus check on that. But I am going to need some of these tools, so let's get this out of the way. Don't think I'll need that. Definitely will want the computer. One thing that this didn't come with is an anti-static strap. Seems like a good idea. So I'm gonna have the laptop here and keep touching it because it's connected and grounded, and that's a good way to demagnetize, de-static, de-electrify, right? Somebody confirm for me that's a good idea. Let's see here. Bitsmanage TV says, I'd like to know what your monitor is for the Mac Mini. Ooh, well, I'm using two monitors. I'm using a external video card, eGPU. I will talk about that once I've used it for a while. I've been using it for a while. It seems fast, but I need to get the RAM in the machine so the machine can actually be fast so I can really see what the performance is. But I am using the, was it 34-inch? Big one. I did a review on it a while ago. I don't remember who makes it now. Huge. I'll look it up later. You wake up. Let's see here. So anyway, I'm using that and right now just a HP 1920 by 1080. It's not high DPI, one that's mounted vertically, and the only reason I'm using that one as opposed to another 4K monitor is because this one I can rotate vertically. I am going to be building out a whole new desk with movable arms for a 3-display setup. It's like a $1,000 setup. I've been eyeing it for a while, kind of piecing it together, and one of these days I'm gonna actually do that, but haven't done it yet. It'll happen. Okay, all right, then my machine is up, which means I can finally connect to the switcher. Actually, hold on, I gotta mount a drive first. Connect to the switcher, and then I'll check the focus on here, make sure it's good. Bart, howdy, sir. This is not a real normal live show. This is going to be one of those. Here, what happened to my switcher? This is going to be one of those. I mean, it's live, obviously, but not your standard show. Let me switch over to my keys here so I can switch and connect. There it goes. So Bart's saying, been a while since you could catch a live show. Again, not a normal live show. This is going to be something totally different while I install RAM, and this actual live show will never be seen again. But it'll be interesting, at least one hopes. No, that's not what I'm connecting to. That's what I'm connecting to. No, that's not right. Trying to connect to my own computers, and sometimes you're like, why? Okay. Seriously, I do know my own password. Apparently not. Oh, this is the wrong computer. That's why. Oh. In full disclosure, I was out sick yesterday. I'm still not 100%. You know how like after you're sick, you kind of feel like, just kind of here, but I need to get this installed. So I'm sitting here trying to connect to, I have this one drive where I keep all rendered files, graphics, just like lots of little stuff like that. It's just one drive that's connected to my machine that's on the network. I'm sitting here trying to connect to it. Why can't I connect? Why can't I connect? Because the machine I'm trying to connect to is right here. Genius. So I won't be connecting to that, but that's okay. I don't really need it. Let me just get my switcher up. And then we will get this going. Bart had a shoot yesterday locally, driving to New York tomorrow, and then a week in Houston starting Sunday. I'll be in Austin next week for a few days, but not Houston. Did it launch? ATEM software, oh, it did launch. ATEM software control is now up and running. Okay, which means I can now do a quick focus check on this camera here. Let's just make sure, because I'm a little bit farther away than I should be. Autofocus, this is what happens when a Blackmagic camera autofocus is super slow, but it did it. Okay, good. Any thoughts on an amount for a GH5? Tech checker, I feel like I missed something. What do you mean? What are you asking me? Any thoughts on an amount? If you're trying to sell it, if that's what you mean, I don't know. Tell me, repeat your question in full, please. Okay, there's that. Let's see here. My close-up camera, what is it pointing at me for? Close-up camera is going to be down there. Let's get this thing. Oops. Crap. I think I just unplugged it. There we go. Okay. That'll work for now. I can obviously move that around as needed. And the overhead. Actually, that's a better overhead shot. That's actually a nice shot. Huh. I kind of like this clean white. I don't want to change to that. No, I like my silver. What do you guys think, though? What do you think of the clean white? This is too big, it sticks out, but what do you think of this as a tabletop? It's kind of nice. I know it feels a bit like generic, but it's kind of cool. Okay. Doc Hamilton, where in Austin? I'm 80 miles away. I'm not sure, but I will be swamped the entire time. Yeah. I get in late Monday night, leave early Thursday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, morning to night, packed. So sorry. I would love to hang. I know that I know there's a few folks out there. Jake, I know you're kind of nearish, but yes, I would love to hang out with you guys, but this is not the trip for that, unfortunately. Okay, what am I doing? You can really tell I'm out of it, can't you? The other day when I said I was tired on Monday's show, turns out I wasn't just tired, I was getting sick. Yay, travel. Come back from travel and you're like, oh, yeah, good. Okay, I need max sales. It's clinical looking in a good way, tech checker says. It does look good for the overhead, right? I mean, that looks really nice and clean, and the close-up definitely looks nice and clean. Oh, let me move. God, this. So you know how the GH5 has a full-size HDMI port and the thing to hold it in there? This camera is a GH4 with a mini port, and it is always coming loose whenever I move it. And it seems like it's getting worse, to be honest. Let's see. That's in there. Yeah, it's about as good as it gets, I suppose. Okay. If I sniffle on camera, I massively apologize. Oh, it's not even connected. Good job. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I need a new... Oh, this cable's crappy. Why is that cable so crappy? Huh. Or the ports got distorted. Either way, that needs to get fixed. I wonder... I'm going to be moving that around a bit. Let me tape that down. Where is my gaff tape? Yes, my studio is still an utter disaster. Yes, one of these days I will take care of it. No, that's not today. All right, let me go around the other side and do this. Let's see. How funny, the cable is already partially taped off, but not in a good place. All right. Taping that down. Hopefully that'll hold a little better. And let's see what happens. Now, can I move this thing without popping the cable out? Yes. Definitely better. All right, so there we go. There's the close-up. There's the overhead. And there's me. Hello, Shark in London. Who's calling me? Scam likely. God, I love that. Shark says, what RAM module are you using? 2 8 gig memory modules, 2 16s or 2 32s. Okay, so these are two. Wait, let me. I'll do a recap on that once we get everything here. Let me finish getting set up, and then I'll tell you that. Let me get the video up here that I need. Where is it? Where is it? Mac Mini. So here I'm looking on the OWC website. I'm going to use their install videos. Actually, if I just go here, I can probably get to it. Install videos, Mac Mini 8.1. There we go. Mac Mini install video. The skill level is involved. How's that? Involved, that's the skill level for this thing, my goodness. Okay, so let's pull this thing up. Ooh, you know what I just realized? You guys, let's see. That's interesting. So last week I told you that, or last week, I mean on Monday I told you that my audio interface is not here. It's out for service right now, and which means I have no way to route this audio into the switcher. Yeah, I guess you'll hear it. I'll just crank the volume on this. You'll hear it through my mic, and that's just how it's going to be. Okay, this is all here. Do I have everything that I need? I think so. May as well get this thing started. Okay, so Shark is asking which RAM modules I'm using. This is, I bought them from Ramjet. The reason I bought from Ramjet is they advertise that they use the same modules that Apple buys. So these are the exact same modules that would be in here if I had bought it with the RAM installed. That cost, their cost of it is half, literally half of what Apple sells it for. When I first got it, I thought, oh, I've done Mac Mini installs before. They're super easy. There's a thing on the bottom. You just literally twist that open, pop it off, and stick them in. I figured this would be the same. Learned after I got it, that was not the case. A little bit of a tisk-tisk on Ramjet for not telling me that I was going to need tools for this, which they actually don't even have, at least not a kit. So I ended up buying an install kit from Mac Sales. Both of these things are linked below. The RAM that I bought is 2 16 gig chips. Two reasons. Number one, they didn't have the dual 32s, and I think they still don't. Mac Sales does have them now, but man, those are expensive. They're more than twice as much, at least last I looked. And I would love to have the full 64 gig, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I think I'm going to be sticking with a total of 32. So what's in here right now is 8, so dual 4 chips, dual 4 gig chips, replacing it with dual 16s. So here's the full kit of what we've got to install. There are the 2 RAM chips, and these are the tools. There is 2 different size Torx things, a Allen key, and a prying tool. All of these are going to be hysterically fun to try to work with. So with all that said, I guess now it's time to start watching the video and see what's going on. Oh, we have a couple other questions here. Tech says, Topher says, remember to breathe. Touching the metal tabletop every few minutes could dissipate any static buildup. A running laptop can carry a charge. So the metal tabletop is not grounded on anything. That's why I figure that the laptop is a better choice, because it is grounded. Even my metal frame here is separated from the ground by a rubber mat, which itself should be grounded. I don't know, I always feel like whenever I do this stuff, I'm like this. I'm touching everything and anything that's plugged into something that should dissipate charge. And all those fingers are crossed. Tech Checker says, V-mount for GH5 with Inferno 4K, recorder for long shoot like a UK football team, Sony MP batteries. Again, I'm not sure what the question is. Are you asking for a recommendation on one? I don't have one. So there's an easy answer. Shark says, my full-time job is an AV engineer, and we use Apple Mac Minis for all our Zoom video conferencing rooms and an Apple iPad Mini to control our Zoom rooms. Very effective setup. Awesome. They're great. I mean, they're really cool. It's just this install is pain in the ass. Okay, well, let's just see what the instructions say.
Hello, and welcome to our instructional series of videos. In this installment, we're going to upgrade the memory in a 2018 Mac Mini. We've already gathered our materials, shut down and unplugged the Mac Mini, and are working on a static-free work surface. We are now ready to begin. The first step is to flip the Mac Mini over and turn it so that the ports are facing you.
I don't know, should I like full on? We could do that. Let's do a full on. Turn the Mac Mini. and flip it over so the ports are facing me. Okay, this could take forever if I do it that way. I'm not going to go quite that involved.
The bottom cover is held in by 3 posts. Use your nail-on pry tool to lift up on the foot until one of the connectors pops free. Then work your way around.
All right, let's give it a shot. So this is the tool. There's 2 ends to this. They appear to be about the same, maybe in case one wears out. Anyway, let's give it a shot. So, easy enough. Yeah. All right, and boom. All right, that was easy enough. That's off. Oops, pop back in over here. Come on. Okay, it was easy enough. There it goes. And one more popped up here. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Ah, we are off to a good start.
Underneath is a metal grate held in by 6 Torx T6 security screws that need to be removed. 3 of them are the posts the bottom cover attached to.
Oh, I forgot to, sorry, I thought I switched. Oh well. I need something to put these on, to put the screws on and label them. I think that's a good idea. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a paper to start labeling things because not labeling them sounds like a really, really crappy idea. Actually, that white surface could be great for drawing directly on if I knew I had a dry erase. I do have a dry erase marker. Ooh, is that a good idea? Hold on a second. Or is that a bad idea? I kind of like that thing, but that might be a good idea. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay. Dry erase marker on this white surface. Is this a good idea? Will it actually come off? Will I ever get it clean? This would allow me to label things really easily. I kind of like this idea. Okay, I'll let that dry for a minute and then try and wipe it off and see what happens. Because that would be very, very cool. Where, oh where, there it is. No, that's not it. Where, there it is. Okay. Oh, it just wiped right off without anything. I think this is a brilliant idea. What's the worst that could possibly happen, right? Why do I always ask that on this show? It's just such a terrible question to ask. Okay, cool. So that means, whew, where's my water? I had a water here somewhere. There it is. My daughter got me this cup for Father's Day or something, and my wife immediately said, take it to work. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so these are teas. There is a storm brewing outside. If you hear some banging against the walls, that's what's happening. They've actually closed the pass over Mount Ashland, and there's semi-trucks lined up down the stretch of the freeway here. Super fantastic. Jake was saying, you like to use Crucial.com when getting RAM for PCs. Crucial RAM isn't the best out there, but it's decent. Love using their scan tool. Guarantee it'll work. Cool. I think I've bought theirs before. I have bought RAM that failed before, which is why I'm a little bit gun shy for anything other than what Apple buys. It's probably a bit overprotective, but there you go. Trevor, oh, you're talking about other stuff? Okay, cool. Let's get back to this. So I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to write down my tools, my screw sizes with this thing. So these are T6. This is a great idea. And draw a little box here. Can you see that? You probably can't see that, no. But it is what it is, so there's that. And I gotta find the one that's T6. So there's a T5, a T6, the prying tool, and the, whatever you call the thing, Allen key. No, not, it's like a Torx wrench. Anyway. All right, let's take these off. So we are taking off this one, and this one here. All right, here we go. These screws are raised up slightly because they are what this thing snaps into. It's kind of interesting. Okay, there's one. I think having this work surface is a brilliant idea. Let's see. Having this work surface that I can write on is really, really clever. I have to remember this. Jake says, if I don't have at least one extra screw left over when you're done, I didn't do it right. No kidding. How funny is that? So true. I gotta show you what I'm done here. This is kind of neat. There we go. Ah, I pulled the cable out again. Yeah, I really have got to get that sorted out. My close-up camera cable keeps popping out. Yeah, I can tell it's wiggly. It clearly needs a new cable. There it goes. So this is what I've done. I've written on the whiteboard on this white plastic. That's, I think, a great plan. Okay, now let's move this thing back. Try to straighten that out a little bit. All right. Refocus. And we're good. Okay. All right, so there's those first three out. Yes, we're off to a good start. This is going to take about 6 hours, just so you know.
The other three are smaller and flush fitting.
Okay, also T6s. Okay. So also T6s, but smaller and flush fitting. So I'm just going to keep these in the order of which they came out. And let's get to work on that. Ooh, those are tiny. My God. You need the tiniest fingers to really do this well. So I reached out to a local Mac guy that I've used before who does installs. He has quite a nice setup in kind of a, I don't know, like a mobile home kind of thing in the back of his property. Really nice little Mac place, got a Mac setup place. He's got a nice workbench, lots of light, all the tools you could possibly need. I've had him install hard drive. I had him install a hard drive in my iMac when I got a replacement for that a while ago. And I called him up and said, hey, what would you charge me for this? And he was like, $200 or something. I'm going, I mean, at that point, I should have just got it from Apple. So here we are.
Once all 6 screws are removed, you can move the grate to the side, but be careful because it's held in place by the airport antenna cable, which is attached to the logic board and reinforced with a screw. You'll need to remove this Torx T6 screw. And then disconnect the button connector holding the cable in. You can now set the grate aside.
Okay, that's fabulous. So I guess we'll use this tool. It didn't give me a poker like they have. I don't have one of those. Okay, so that just pops out, easy enough. And okay, I see it. Let's see here. Wow, man, that is tough. So 6, he said 6, right? Must be T6. This little tiny guy here. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I hope this is these are magnetic tools. There we go. Okay. That's T6 for the radio antenna. And somehow this little thing pops out. That does not seem like a good idea. I'm gonna watch that part again just to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
And then disconnect the button connector holding the cable in. You can now set the grate aside.
Yeah, it's the right thing. Okay, I don't have the right close-up angle for you guys to see that really. Let's see if I do this angle. No, you can't really see it. Well, you just saw in their video what it is, so I need more light. I don't know what this is going to do for lighting for you guys, but I need a little bit more light in here. Huh. Well, that's going to be terrible for you, isn't it? Okay, I'll turn it off. Let me just do it for this part of it because I really do need to be able to see this. There it goes. Okay. Now that's off. Excellent. Okay. We'll keep this handy. Might be needing that later. Yeah. All right, back to it.
The next thing we need to do is remove the fan. There are 4 Torx T6 screws holding it in that need to be loosened. The 2 horizontal screws can be left in their grommets to make it easier to replace the fan later.
Oh, okay, cool.
Move the fan back slightly to expose the fan cable.
Okay, we're gonna pick it up from there. And I see someone saying, someone charging $200 to install a drive. It was to install the RAM. The drive, I don't remember what they charged me. It was quite a lot less. And that was, you have to take the screen off the iMac to do that, so that was a real challenge. This is different. And maybe he never, I don't know why he wanted to charge so much, but he did. So what I need is a nice miner's helmet. Right, there you go. Ooh, there we go. Tech Checker, how 2019, watching a video on a video on a video on how to replace RAM. I'll try to remember that. Hey, you know, we got to do something around here. All right, let's go for the overhead again. And is this my, no, that's the 6. All right, so we're here. Ooh, okay, that's not cool. It's like stripping. There's the 6. He said it was 6. Oh, wonderful. That screw head is not coming out. Let's try this. Okay, am I doing something stupid? Nope, it's still 6. Oh, and I'm using the 5, Jesus. Brilliant. Well, there you go. That would be the problem. Oh, well, this is a good start. So I have just managed to do some damage to the screw heads because I used the 5 instead of the 6. And now I can't get this out. What am I going to do, guys? I can't, it's like, I feel like I've just stripped that out a little bit. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, red top. Look, someone's like, no, red one, idiot. Red one, not the blue one. How do I fix this? Help. Push hard and turn, Jake says. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Obviously, I'm, push too hard and like push right through the stupid computer. Great. Off to a really good start here, aren't we? Ah, got it. Okay. Whew. Something tells me I'm not going to bother editing this into a video for other people to watch. This is like humiliatingly bad. Just doesn't want to come out. If raised up, use pliers. Yeah, I can, well, it's spinning now, this one. It's just, I don't know if it's out all the way. Yeah, it is. It's just not magnetically sticking to this. Here we go. Good job. Okay. Now try to repeat on here. Oh man, I'm pushing some real effort onto this thing. Come on, you. Dig in. Dig in. Trevor says Screws probably has a Loctite thread locker or something similar to them just to make life entertaining. I concur, because man, these things are tight in there. Jeez, come on. See if there's any way that I can grab on and twist this. Nope. Come on, baby. Get in there. Really makes me wonder how I'm going to get this thing back out. I'm back in. Well, this is going well, isn't it? Okay, the tools. I'm trying to tell if the tools themselves are getting stripped out. I don't think so. I think it's just... How could, like, why would these screws not be made of something that's impossible, some material that's much harder than whatever these are? These feel really soft. Why would these be so soft? God. It's just, it's not doing it, man. It is just not doing it. Sean, Mr. Nipper's in the house. I'm live and struggling massively to install the RAM on here. Everybody's busy laughing at me. Well, I used the wrong tool and managed to strip out a couple of heads, so now I'm trying to recover. Which is, yeah, exactly.
You got the toolkit though.
Well, yeah, that came while I was gone in India. So now I'm finally trying to do it. But
I think what you need. I have no idea.
This sucks.
Oh my goodness. Best of luck.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Bills for the strip. Never mind.
Shark says they make it tough every time they release a new version of hardware. They change the screws all the time, force us to go back to Apple. I'm a brave man. You have a 2018 Mac Mini, and that is one thing you would not try. Well, that's why I'm doing this, because it's too expensive. I mean, my God, the price from Apple on the RAM was ridiculous. What do I do, guys? I need like a, what do you call those, like tap machine you drill into it? Sounds horrible. Sounds like a really horrible idea. Ooh, that might have turned it. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. I was able to grab it with the pliers and turn it to break it free. So now it is actually coming out. Oh, no idea how I'm going to get this back in, but it's out. Man. That is messed up, yo. Okay. All right, next, we'll make sure we use the 6. Let's put the 5 out of the way so I don't accidentally grab that one again. Okay, so these come out, but not all the way. So there we go. Hey, look how much better it works when you actually use the right tool. Okay, and this one. you really got to question why, at one point, this was easy, right? Like I said, the last Mac Mini that I bought, you literally just twisted this bottom plate off, and that was it. And it was super easy to get into. And now it is so complicated. I mean, okay, fine, maybe they couldn't make it as small. Maybe that's it. I mean, I guess the justification would be for those who have built racks to hold tons of these things. If you change the size on this, you really screw things up for people. Maybe that's the logic. I don't know. Man, this is rough. Okay, let's go back to the video.
Move the fan back slightly to expose the fan cable. You can disconnect this by gently lifting it from the socket from the cable side. You can then set the fan aside.
All right, so that's from the cable side. That was this way. And they used this tool to pop that up. I love how it says gently. Yeah, gently. There it goes. How the hell is that going to reattach to that? Are you freaking kidding me? Okay. That's like... Seriously, that does not seem like something... that was supposed to come off. Because on their video, there's like a whole, what looks like a row of pins. What I see here looks like this was soldered to the board. Yeah. Yeah. Because all I'm seeing on the board where this popped up of are 4 tiny or 5 tiny little, 6 maybe, tiny little contacts with no connection point, no like is connected to that. And this isn't missing any, doesn't have a piece on it that should have stayed behind as far as I can tell. Oh, this is bad. Shark says grasp the fan cable by all 6 wires and gently lift to unplug it. Yeah, well, that's not what they showed here, and that is not the end result here. You need to pull it with your fingers. I did what they did in the video. You broke it, Boldy. Oh. Yep. Now, this part. There we go. Well, that's it. I've just ruined my computer. Yep. There's the piece. That was supposed to stay on. Yeah, check this out. So in the video, they show prying out here. Let's just take a little revisit of this.
Mm-hmm.
You pop that out.
Sure.
So I did that.
Then set the fan aside.
Except that when I did it, that's all that's left. It ripped off the entire, so those little contacts there need to be soldered onto that. That is not...
What's that local Apple place that we never take anything to?
yeah, right.
Bummer.
I have Apple Care, but I don't think this really qualifies as a under warranty repair.
I do like your shirt though.
Thanks. Unbelievable. Looks like a job for super glue. Yeah, because super glue will totally work. Oh my God, this is just wonderful. Well, do I continue? I may as well continue. I don't know why? Wow, this is really sucky. Trevor says this is Apple's fault. There's no way a connector should pop off the main board like that. They're truly obnoxious. I agree. Sean agrees. Wow. Well, I guess I'll set that aside. It's good they don't have any work to do. Oh, wait. Now that I've separated a little piece, can I push it back on the board? No. So how can I... do I know someone who can solder it back? Well, I don't know if the Mac repair guy that I know could do it. I have no idea if he's capable of that level of work. It's these tiny little, how can let me see, I don't think this thing focuses that closely. Let me see if there's any way that I can. You probably can't really see that, but anyway, yeah, those contact points need to be soldered onto the board. This side of it, that should have stayed on and it should have just popped out of there. The plug should have popped out of there, but it didn't. It just popped the whole thing off, which is awesome. Well, may as well continue at this point. Take to an expert and tell him that he soldered for you carefully. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and finish installing the RAM because, you know, at this point, what have I got to lose? Unbelievable. All right, onward.
There are two more cables to disconnect. First is the logic board power cable. This should come straight out of its socket. Next, we want to disconnect this smaller cable near the front. It lifts out of its socket much like the fan connector did.
Huh. Yeah, we saw how that went with the fan connector. All right. So let's see. First is this one. Should just pop right off. There we go. Sean says the guy from Sunrise Computing. Who's Sunrise Computing? And then this one here. Let me go back. So that tiny thing there, which is here. I feel like I'm pulling on the cables, so I'm just going to pull the cable right out. Oh, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay, that one came out. Can't even imagine getting that back in either. My God. I mean, look at how tiny these things are. Let's see here. Where am I? There we go. It's this little guy right there that I just popped out. Look how tiny these things are. Man, seriously. So not cool. So not cool. Trevor says you don't get your stripes until you ruin your first piece of Apple gear. I ripped the case off for a MacBook Pro into pieces trying to take it off. That was an awesome day. Yeah. Hey Sean, does a Sunrise Computing dude make house calls? Could you give him a call and tell him what just happened and see what he says? Tell him we'll give him some airtime on YouTube if you can come down here right now. Sharks asked, what stage am I at? Oh, Shark, did you step away and come back? I'm at the stage where I broke my machine. Yeah, I ripped something off of the motherboard that wasn't supposed to pop. It was supposed to like disconnect, and it just ripped off completely. So now we have a problem because I now have a complete non-functional Mac. Yeah, it's great. Okay. Freedom Wild says, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Once you stop recording, I'd be throwing and cussing like a sailor. Feel bad for you. You know, sometimes you can't. There's just things you can't do. All right, anyway, onward. Let's see here.
The last thing to do before removing the logic board is to remove these two Torx T10 screws. To remove...
Okay. That seems easy enough. That's this big old tool, so let's go in. Destaticize. Oof. Man, no wonder they went for the wide angle there. Number one. And as I jam the other end of this into the motherboard, pry off some other little capacitor or whatever the heck these things are called. Transistors. Who needs those? Like Jake said, you haven't done this until you only did it right if you have a screw left behind. If I have like little transistors left behind, does that count? No, they're not transistors. What are these things called? That is a T10. We'll leave that elsewhere. I guess I didn't really have to label these T6 because so far everything's been T6. Although I have a T5 tool, so there must be a T5 somewhere in there. Okay.
The logic board, it's easiest to turn the Mac Mini around and press against the edge of the heatsink to push the logic board out of the back of the Mini. Once you get past the side clips, you can pull the logic board the rest of the way out.
Seems easy enough. What did you say, Sean?
Should hear back in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, cool. Should hear back in a few minutes. Okay, so here we go. This. Woohoo! I don't know why I'm excited. It's not like I'm going to have a functional Mac when this is done. Excellent. All righty. I think the RAM's inside of this thing. Good Lord. Okay, onward.
The memory modules are located underneath this metal grate, which is held in by these four Torx T5 screws.
Ah, there's the T5s.
Once that's done, you can slide the grate up at an angle to remove it and set it aside.
That seems easy enough. Okay, see if I can't do this without screwing it up. Overhead. Now we're using the 5. Where'd my 5 go? Let's make sure. T5. Excellent. Okay. So these 5 come out. Yeah, I should fix my other close-up camera. There we go. That's a little bit more interesting view. Okay. So far I've managed to make 2 major mistakes. Used the wrong tool, which ended up stripping out the head. That was awesome. And then snapped something right off the motherboard. That's great. Okay, so that was a T10. And these are T5s. Okay. Shark's giving me advice. Carefully lift the connector for the LED indicator straight up. Okay, well, I'll get to that. if that's something I have to do. I don't think that's something I have to do because it hasn't mentioned that yet, and I'm to the RAM. So after this, I don't think there's something else to take off. Shark, I feel like you might be a little behind. Of course, by the time you hear this, that would be late. You will not know that. Anyway, I am currently babbling incoherently. Okay, so there's my 4 T5s. And this apparently just slides off. Oops, I'm trying to get this into view so you can see it. There we go. Oh, that's easy. Okay, so that slides off. All right. Well, I am now looking at the RAM. Here, take a look. There we go. That's the RAM right there. Looking pretty. Looking pretty. Okay.
While it is optional to do this, removing the rubber covers from the memory retainer clips makes it easier to remove and replace the memory modules. All you need to do is peel back the rubber slightly and slide it off the retainer clips. Then, to remove the modules themselves, first press outward on the retainer bars until the modules pop up. Then, lift the modules up and out of the slots and set them aside.
All right, I can do that. So, take these guys off. Oh, well, that did everything all at once. Oh, I see. Little rubber things. Okay. That's kind of cool. Okay, so that's off, that's out, and that's out. So there's the paltry 2 4 gig RAM chips, which are no longer needed.
The memory modules have a notch that line up with a pin in the memory slot. Position the module so that the two line up, then press it into the slot. Then, press down on the module to lock it into place. Repeat the process for the top module.
Getting some tips from Shark says, slide the RAM module straight out to remove it. When handling, the RAM modules touch only the outside edges. Take care not to touch the gold-colored contact points along the bottom edge. Noted. All right, so let's get these new ones in. Well, now's the like touch everything metal that I can find here. Decharged. And do not touch the gold contacts. Got it. Get out of there. Okay. Nope, this way. I tried to put it upside down. So, Jake, you said use Crucial. That's what these are. Bought them from Ramjet, but they're branded as Crucial by Micron. All right. Who wants to look up and see what a 16 gig chip costs from Crucial directly versus from Ramjet? Let's see if I got ripped off. That'll put me in an even better mood than I already am. Okay. Alrighty. In we go. There's the first one in. I have installed RAM before, so at least I know kind of how this is meant to feel when it goes in. I remember the ZIF slots, right? Zero insertion force slots being a big deal a while back, and that's what these are, right? They just rest in there, and then the clamps hold them in. Cool. Crap. Notice which side was which. Oh, that's that. Okay. Now let's just watch the video.
Replace the rubber covers on the memory retainer clips by sliding the small tabs on the cover into the holes in the tops of the retainer clips.
Oh, okay.
So there's a negative on Sunrise Computing, but there is Dr. Networking, Cliff, that works out here out of Ashland. They do come to you, but it costs a lot more if they come here.
Okay.
So if you could pick that thing up and put it in your car.
That I can manage to do.
Yeah, but and then I know for a fact that they work on Macs. So I think the other thing is the Sunrise. They don't touch Macs.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
So
it's
Cliff,
meant for that.
isn't he the guy that was at Greeters?
Yeah,
Cliff?
dressed up as Batman. Well, yeah, the guy who's
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
nice guy,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's not Medford.
It is not Medford. Okay. Sure, if you don't mind. Tell him if he can come down here, he can be live on the YouTube channel. You know, that might encourage, I don't know, not like it'll get him any local business. Anybody here in Ashland? Right. Oops. There we go.
If you have both tabs in their appropriate slots, it should feel fairly secure.
Fairly secure.
Repeat the process on the other side. Once both sides are on, you should be able to slide the metal cage back into place. If you can't, you may need to double check the positioning of the rubber covers.
All right, and getting some more tips from Shark here. Press the top edges of the RAM and to swing down to the logic board. Like I said, that worked. I got that part. If the rubber guards interfere with the clips, spread the clips. Here, Trevor's thing just got blocked. Let's show that. If the rubber guards interfere with the clips, spread the rubber guards away from the RAM with one hand and use the other to guide the RAM modules into place. I think this will work. Trevor says, those clips are $105 each on Amazon. Crucial 32 gig kit. I definitely paid more than that. Interesting. Okay, anyway, back to this. So these just slide into... Okay, yeah, that works. It just slides right down. I think I only got one of them. Let's see here. All right, need more light. Cannot quite see. There we go. There we go, okay. Check the other side because no guarantee that actually went in right. There we go. Now that's in right. Okay. Trevor says chips are $105 each, so now I have to look and see what I paid on Ramjet. Shark says, don't feel bad. I know how to do it, but I have someone to do it for me. My hands are too big for tiny screws. Yeah, no kidding, right? Okay, so Mac Mini, here's what I got. Upgrade size, 350. So 175 each, and you got 105 each. Wow. Well, that's interesting. I'm really kind of unimpressed that they came in with this Crucial branding. Not that there's anything wrong with Crucial memory, but if they're just reselling someone else's memory, not really too keen on that. Reselling someone else's memory that's not, anyway, whatever, you know what I'm saying. What's up, Sean?
They're going to call back, and I'll hear back in a few minutes.
Okay, they're going to call back. Okay, so now I can put this back on. Cool, and presumably just screw this back to place. No point putting the board back until you have it fixed. Yeah, I will finish this part of it. It'll obviously be easier to solder that missing piece onto here when the board is out. So yeah, I guess this is the last step I'm going to be able to complete right now, isn't it?
Once the cage is in place, you can secure it with its 4 Torx T5 screws. You can now...
Alrighty, so back to that. My itty bitty little T5s. God, these things are tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny, tiny. my, oh my. Has anybody tweeted out yet? Tune in live and watch Joseph destroy his Mac Mini. This is not how I expected this morning to go. Come on. There we go. All right, make sure all those are nice and snug. Cool. Shark says that would be cruel and unfair. We've all been there. What, to tweet it out? Hey, at least you'll get the lulz, right? Tech Checker says, I bet I'm not the first person this has happened to. Probably not. Okay, so now it's about sliding it back in. So as Shark pointed out, as somebody pointed out, oh, Tech Checker pointed out, no point in putting it back in until that's soldered back on. Yeah. So unbelievable. I mean, seriously. God. Well, I guess we will wait and see. Shark says that's why I love PCs. Yeah. I mean, it's a great little machine, right? Until this happens. It was going so well. Well, almost so well until then. All right, well, let's do this. We'll take a little short break. We'll see if the guys call back. Well, even if they call back, they're going to have to come here. So if they end up coming in, if they end up coming here, I will go live again and finish the install. If I end up taking it to them, then obviously I'll just take it to them and do what I do. But that's super fun. Trevor says, I've had to redo solder joints in your BMW computer. Yikes. Sloppy solder work is pretty common. Yeah, I'm not shocked. Tech Checker says, it's heartbreaking to happen. Dude, this is beyond heartbreaking. Man, the real, I mean, if they can just solder it back on, fine. You know, lesson learned. If they can't, and it has to go back to Apple, I can't even imagine. It's the kind of thing that Apple would say, oh no, we have to replace the entire motherboard. We can't do that work, right? That's the kind of thing that they would say. It'll cost more than the machine itself. That's the kind of thing that they would say. I love Apple, but Jesus, this kind of thing is not cool. Anyway, I guess that's it. Shark's looking forward to part 2. Hey, so am I. I'm looking forward to getting this machine back up and running so I can actually get some work done today, which is probably not going to happen anytime soon. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in for that. That was fun. Trevor's saying, yeah, Apple wouldn't repair it. They'd replace the board. All right, see? Yeah. So hopefully, crazy, looking at this tiny thing, like I don't even see solder points. Like, anyway, is what it is. Trying to figure out why there's only one of one type of screw here. All right. Oh no, Bart missed out on the show. Bart, you missed the important part. Bart says, just ran some errands and got back. You're still going, what happened? Oh, nothing good. Nothing good. I snapped a piece off of the motherboard. It has to be resoldered on. I am down for the count now. So on that happy note, I'm going to get out of here and see if we can find somebody to do this soldering work. Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for the help. Thanks for cheering me on. And Park's like, ah. Topher says, if the pins are intact, you might be able to reseal the connector with Kapton tape. Jake says, send it to Apple, tell them the fan wouldn't work. You know, that's a good idea. I could delete this video. No, they'll probably recognize it's not the RAM that they installed. Man. I like the way you're thinking, Jake. No, they'd recognize, they'd know, they'd be like, you know, like on the phone, remember they had, if you ever had this, if you brought in your phone in the early days and said your phone doesn't work, first thing they would do is they would look inside somewhere, I think it was in the headphone port, for water damage. There's a little thing inside of the phone that changed color if it had water damage. So if you brought in an iPhone and said, I don't know what happened, it doesn't work. First thing they would do is take this little magnifying glass, like a ear thing that doctors use, and look down inside and go, oh, it appears your phone has water damage. Do you recall dropping it in the water? Oh, no, I had no idea it dropped in the water. Because that's what would happen. People dunk it, bring it in and go, it doesn't work. So they probably have a way to know that this has been disassembled. I don't think I'd get away with that. So anyway, all right, guys, now we're really out of here. Take care. That was not terribly exciting. That was very fun. Bye.